pyramids, I shouted across a pub at my friend because he was annoying me so much. That I just lost my temper with him.
They are an incredible feat
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
that era.
absolutely. But to for human endeavor and human ingenuity to be crushed down into aliens did it is the most
Yes.
annoying fucking thing ever. You're like,
Yeah.
no, it's improbable. It's not impossible. That's not the
No,
same
not when
thing.
it's being completely explained the process that it was
Many,
achieved.
many times, yeah,
And if you put a million slaves on anything, they're going to
exactly,
achieve stuff.
yeah, like because people have been so obsessed with it. There's, uh,
If
we've
they'd
got
done the
it.
Chrysler building,
Yeah,
they'd
we've
have
got
a
into
point, I think.
we've looked at it so much at this point that we know the physics of it. We know exactly how it was done, um, and
Yeah.
I can't believe anybody gets past the opening credits to one of those shows because it's always somebody who's watched something on Discovery. That's how this argument started with my friend in a pub. He'd watched. He said, "Do you see that thing on Discovery on Friday night? The Great Pyramid conspiracy?" And I went, "No." What? Because I just went, "What was the conclusion?" Because I just couldn't be asked.
Yeah.
And he said, so the build up was like, was it, was it millions of slaves or was it aliens? And I went, and you got past that, and yeah, and like,
Yeah.
what are you doing with your life? I couldn't get past that. As the teaser, I'd be like, and done.
Yeah. Well, there's a problem. The problem with the aliens did it theory, in my opinion, with pyramids, we drilled that straight down into pyramids. That's fine. The problem with that is what you're talking about there is alien life form with the ability to transcend solar systems because there isn't any in our solar system.
No, yeah,
In our little our sun, using our sun, if you like. So they've got that ability, which we haven't yet. Remember
yeah,
that all they can build is a stone triangle.
yeah. You think
Like we can build amazing buildings, but we can't leave our solar system yet.
you'd have gone with a Walmart just to fuck with people?
Yeah, at least a B&Q or a carpet
just
right.
just one escalator
Yeah, something.
and
Yeah,
and a
electrical.
solar panel running it.
Yeah, a light
That's
switch. Just
it.
a light switch.
Yeah,
Just a
just
light
that.
switch. Bang! Mind blown.
Just a
Who are
Game
these
Boy,
guys?
just a Game Boy on a fold-up picnic
Why would they
table.
do that? And why would they do that and F off as well?
I love the whole thing. It's one of those things that I hate. And there's other things, there's um
We
if we
should
get,
say we're on a very similar mindset on this sort of thing, aren't we?
yeah, we are,
It's
yeah.
something where we literally in complete agreement. And so I'm sorry if this comes across as a very shade throwing episode, but it's just
But
what
we
we think. It's just what we believe.
yeah, and you don't have a choice to step out of your own brain to go, let me think about that objectively.
I
Because
don't have the mental space in my life to pursue these conspiracies either. Like my existence really is collecting enough time till I can have another packet of crisps.
yeah,
Sort
I
of,
knew you were gonna say something like that.
it's like, oh, I'll do a bit of work and then I might be allowed a packet of crisps. If I go to sleep now and I get up after breakfast, I can have a
I
packet
like.
of
Do you
crisps.
think that? I think that's an over 35-year-old man thing. Like, when somebody tells you what they, like if one of my friends is really obsessed with a computer game, I'm not thinking like, oh, I wonder what it looks like. I wonder what it looks like. All I'm thinking is, how the fuck have you got time?
Yeah.
Like,
When do you get a packet of crisps in if you're doing
I
that all the time?
don't have any logic to that at all.
Mm,
The other thing is that I think you're clearly, as your brain ages, that when you're a teenager, when you're young, when you haven't got an adult brain, you're far more susceptible to these things. Because I remember being about 10 years old, and I bought or was given or something a book on the Loch Ness monster, and I remember like absorbing it. I didn't like preach it. I didn't stand on street corners and go, "Hey guys, have you heard about the Loch Ness monster?"
yeah.
I read the book end to end and thought, well, that's real. And then there was obviously like a
Yeah.
bit in my brain later where, no, it's not.
Hmm. The Loch Ness one. I mean, there are some incredible things in the deep, deep ocean, aren't there?
Absolutely.
And there are there's some incredibly large sea creatures. But so it's not insane, that conspiracy. The problem is they've scanned the lake millions of times
Yeah.
and never found anything. So that's that. That's that.
Yeah, you need
It's
to
like
come up
if
with
someone said behind that door is a really large parrot.
Yeah.
Once you've looked behind the door and there isn't,
You
that's
can't.
that, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't come back out, and then everybody goes, just pretend there was a big parrot, and you go, well, no,
I mean,
'cause you
yeah, it's
can't.
cool for
It's not.
tourists and stuff,
Yeah,
tourism
yeah.
trade and stuff. And yeah,
I mean, it's literally that. It's literally to sell ice
it's
cream.
the only time with conspiracies where camera phones haven't moved on.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Still
Oh, I got
whack.
a picture of Nessie. Oh yeah, is it on a Nokia
Oh, it's not.
3310?
It's not the
Yes, it
only.
is. Yes,
It's
you
not
just
the.
happen to have one.
It's not the only time, because the other time is clearly UFOs. Any UFO sighting
Yeah,
has to be
yeah,
recorded on a really shit phone. You want to
yeah.
be shaking your hand the whole time. Light conditions are wanky. That's what you want.
Oh, I videotaped a UFO. Oh wow, really? Yeah, yeah. Have you got a VHS player?
Yeah.
No.